out at the end of the show where they, if you're bad, they cut you off in like 30 seconds. They cut him off after he said, and I quote, "I'm just a bachelor." Click.
Oh,
that was it.
Wow.
That was the whole show.
Wow.
At least he went right to his hit, though. He didn't mess around with no deep cuts or nothing.
Oh, nah.
Right.
Nah. He didn't even sing It's 10-10. They sang it as part of the show. He didn't even open his mouth. He knew better.
Dirty business. But, like, sometimes you ain't got it. It's kind of like what we was talking about earlier with Mariah Carey. Like, she can't hit those notes no more. Like, she can't even get close.
Right.
She can't even get close. And so, like, it's just compensation notes at this point.
Compensation notes. Come on.
There was a video where like she was like live, and then like all her backing sound went off, and then
that was the New Year's joint, right? The New Year's joint
it just did not sound good at all.
Yeah, that was the New Year's joint. Well, I don't know if it happened more than once, but definitely the 1 year doing the New Year's performance, her backing track got like all the way fucked up, and she couldn't hear it. She couldn't hear through the monitors, right? And so it's like she couldn't make sure that she was where she needed to be. Shit was just kind of fucked up everywhere.
But the funniest part of it, though, was like the people, her background dancers and stuff, were still dancing like there's still music going on.
Right, because they got the rhythm in their head. They got the beat.
That's what they get paid to do.
Yeah, I just thought it was
the rhythm in their heart.
The whole thing was just like, but then they're still out there jiving.
Keep on trucking, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
one of these days I'm gonna have to show y'all my John B concert video when we went and we watched him and he was high and he couldn't remember the words to his own song. I'm gonna have to show y'all that.
Is he still looking for someone to love?
It's just someone to touch.
That song is a bop.
He's still down.
Yeah, he's still down. Yeah,
that song is still a bop though. I ain't fuck, but that was back when Babyface, John B, and Tony Braxton all sang like Babyface. Like the songs all sounded like Babyface.
That's because he produced most of those songs,
right? Mm-hmm. And he wrote the songs and stuff like that. But they all sounded like different versions of him.
Yep.
So it was a little bit on the weird side, to be honest. But yeah, I mean they made it work. So so this is a running start. Welcome everybody to Scarcasm. We are live with another August. Rashani's in the building, and Blue's in the building. Blue's actually stuck around long after the recordings. We've already wasted an hour.
I was gonna be here. I didn't dress for this.
I did. I wore my Scarcasm shirt.
Nobody's talking about you, Scar.
This is Scarcasm. We are definitely talking about me.
Stop making the world about you, Scar.
Actually, it's going to be a lot of you.
Jesus Christ, Scar, you're so selfish.
I just said it's going to be a lot of you. It's going to be a lot of you because I ain't really do much different this week than I did last week. So I don't have much to talk about. I know you probably got Cult of the Lamb to talk about. And
how'd you know? Oh, shit. Let me tell you something about my nigga Cult of the Lamb. Is it alright if I say nigga Chase? It don't matter. You can't say it. So... Cult of the Lamb, I loved for the first fucking week it came out. I played it continuously. And then it just started doing that. All of a sudden, the game just started what's it called? The not stream, the what's it called, Chase?
Frame rate. Refresh rate?
The frame rate drops from like 60 to fucking 10 while you're fighting a boss. To 10! Where the fuck? And one of the things that you have to do in this game as a cult leader, for some reason, even though you're the cult leader, you still have to cook for everybody. I think that's shitty. I can't do anything about it. The cooking is a mini game where there's a green bar and then there's red on the other side of it, and you have to click within the green bar in order to cook the food correctly. If you don't, it's burnt and the food is lost. Guess what happens every single time you get it right? Frame rate drops down to 10. So you get one right and two wrong. Yeah, I'm playing on the Switch. And the Switch, I guess, the only one that's having that issue. But, I mean, I've already paid for it, and it's portable.
Yeah. the Switch is the only one that's underpowered. I saw.
Look, you don't stop talking bad about my Switch because my Switch has brought me hours of happiness.
No, I just said it's underpowered. I didn't say it was like it couldn't do anything.
Wait.
He didn't say it was trash cakes. He did not say it was trash cakes.
But you're saying it's underpowered for a game that's literally looks like goat ass. Like it's a pretty game, but it's not the most technologically advanced game in the world, homie.
I saw videos of someone playing 2 Point Campus on Switch, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
You sounded offended, son.
I was like,
man.
and I bought 2 Point Hospital for the Switch, and then I never used it because I never used my Switch. If Hospital looks that bad, I ain't never gonna play that shit, dog.
I saw someone on Reddit complaining about Cult of the Lamb. They were like, I'm not playing this game anymore until they fix their shit.
They must have tried to cook something. Or they died to a boss. Because if you die to the boss, here's the fucked up great part about this game. As a cult leader, you have to go and fight other members of the old guard, the old cults. That's cool. I like that. It's like a roguelite. But if you die while you're fighting these other people, your group starts to look at you like a little bitch. And you lose respect in your cult. So every time you die, they lose a little bit of faith in you. Also, while you're gone, they starve. Because they can't cook without you. They are literally PM'd on. They're lost without you.
Wow.
They die without you. Lost without you was that other dude.
Your cult leader is Suge Knight?
No. No, my cult leader is Jermaine Dupri.
Your cult leader, like, Suge Knight was a bad motherfucker and a feared motherfucker until that random ass barber knocked him the fuck out. And then the mystery of Suge Knight completely went the fuck away.
No, my cult leader's literally a lamb. It's JD. It's Jermaine Dupri. There's no scariness to my cult leader. And I'm just waiting for somebody to be like, that motherfucker's a bitch. And then everybody leaves. And the bad thing about it is, if you lose members of your cult, you need a certain number of cult members to go to each area where these old bosses are at. So I can't let anybody die.
I heard a whole bunch of weird shit.
Although I can, one thing you can do is you can make laws and doctrines where you can make somebody you can make it where they don't frown upon cannibalism.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I listened to PSVG today, and they were talking about this shit. It's weird. There's like city building elements, there's resource management elements, and like all kinds of shit as a part of this game. And like the fact that like if somebody is like speaking out against you, like they don't like it if you kill them, but you can convince somebody else to do it. Somebody came up to me and was like, cult leader, I love you. I have to let you know about a fetish I have. I want to eat a bowl of poop. Can you make me a bowl of poop to eat, please? If you don't say yes, you lose 35 faith points immediately. Because you don't let them eat shit and die. Because they will die from eating shit, Scar. I mean, that's kind of like, that's the phrase, right?
Yes, eat shit and die.
Right. Wow.
One dude took half my money and left the cult. I couldn't even stop him. Another person, you can kill them. You can murder people, but it has to be in the middle of the night, and then you have to bury them before people wake up. But I had forgotten that I had given somebody a necklace that made it where they never had to sleep again. So one person saw me. It's pretty dope. The only thing you have to keep in mind is, because I know, Scar, you with the resource, the city building and the resource management, that's your shit. That's your joint right there. The only thing you have to keep in mind with this game is that both sides are equally important. The roguelite and the resource building are equally important, which is bad because the roguelite takes longer than the city building part. So while you're rogueliting, your people are fucking starving at home.
Wow.
It's like the people are are eating too much, so you got to go get more resources because you need them to poop so that you can fertilize the stuff to make sure that they have enough food to eat. It's weird shit like that.
I thought I was gonna be like my homeboy's mama back in the day. Be available and be a good parent while they're all awake, and then at night go out.
Tear that club up, son.
But so I would try because there's a fishing. There's a place that you unlock pretty early on in the game where there's like it's near a river, and you can fish. And so that's how I would feed them mostly is by gathering fish from this lake. But night seems to go so quickly in this game. Like the time frame is a circle, and so if you look at it like a clock, where 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. From 1 until 11 is daytime. And then from 11 to 1 is night. And it seems like the time goes by so quickly at night that you can't really do anything. So I'm like stuck in a situation where I'm like, either y'all are going to be mad at me while I go get food for you, or I'm never going to go anywhere and this game isn't going to progress for me and I'm going to get bored of it. So there's a few things. I mean, I keep seeing folks giving it these really high scores and everything, and it deserves it. But there are things that need to fix, starting with that frame rate. Then it's also the amount of time. The balance is skewed towards the resource management more than towards the roguelite aspect of it. And I got into the game for the roguelite aspect of it. Devolver Digital is a really unique. To me, they're in the same realm as Supergiant, as far as putting out these really unique games.
They publish hits.
And what's the people that made Psychonauts? Is that thing?
Double Fine.
Yeah,
Double Fine. That's another one of my favorite producers. So I'm into these off-kilter type games. But this game, I feel like I'm tethered to my cult members, and I don't like them that much. Plus, the cult members, like, when I started, they start off like 24 years old, 25 years old, whatever. 26 days later, these motherfuckers are dying. Like, of old age.
You're not supposed to like your cult members.
That's what they keep telling me. You're supposed to kill them and use them for your own good. But that's like going out on Mass Effect and being a renegade. I can't do it.
You're a cult leader.
I'm going to tell you, there's two ways that I can play renegade. If I'm a woman, or if I'm a dude, he wears one of the specialty armors like the Cerberus armor or the Dragon Age armor where it completely covers your face the whole time.
Right.
You can't see yourself. You can't see yourself devolving.
Is it kind of misogynistic to say that you?
It's not.
Probably.
It's not. It's not. I know where you're
You
going.
haven't even asked the question yet.
I know where you're going.
No. That the reason why you have a cult is for the women. Like that's the ones that you like. You don't.
No. Playing Mass Effect, when you play as a woman, you play as a bad person.
Yep. Every time I do. Every time my femship is my renegade.
Because I don't have a direct connection to her because I don't know what it's like to be a woman.
Exactly. So like I can disassociate more.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's what it is. 100%. I can just do dastardly things as a woman that I can't force myself to do as a man.
Straight up.
So.
Yep.
Which is why I like Andromeda as Sarah as opposed to Scott.
Well, that voice actress was phenomenal too, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she was great. She was absolutely great.
But by and large, I would give the game a higher score, but the frame rate is a real problem, and it won't allow me to do everything I want to do.
Your negative experience is unique to the Switch, is what you're saying.
Yes, and it's interesting to see people like there was another game that I was really interested in that comes out tomorrow, Saints Row. Scar knows I'm a Saints Row big time fan, big time. And so to read the reviews where they are completely shitting on this game and saying how awful it is.
I've seen people that I generally believe are nice people when it comes to reviewing video games. And the titles of their videos about Saints Row is "This game is shit."
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. But here's the thing. Everybody's saying this game is shit. Absolute shit. Drek. Horrible. And then you go to Polygon, and Polygon has like this glowing review of it. And I'm like, are y'all getting paid? Like, how is everybody else saying that this is a 2 out of 10 and one of the worst things to happen in a long time? And y'all are like, I had a great time. And after I put this game down...
Is it kind of like the I just watched another punk rock NBA guy and video, and it was about the failing, why he thinks that rock music in general and metal and, you know, rock music is failing, is because you look at like the big rock festivals and it's all bands from like 20 years ago that are headlining. It's nothing. There are new bands, but they don't get the headline like a band like Korn is that formed in 1994. But so is the Saints Row thing, everyone yelling at it because it's more catering towards Gen Z and they want things to be like 2002.
In my opinion, I think that Saints Row, going all the way back to Saints Row 1, I think the Saints Row 1 and 2 built an audience that was like, I like this Grand Theft Auto aspect of games. And so once Saints Row the 3rd came out and they completely deviated from that style, and then the 4th one came out and it was like the Matrix, and it just got zanier and zanier, I think they lost some of their audience.
That's what bullshit Crackdown.
So yeah, see, and me personally, I loved it. So when they went back to that original style of being like Grand Theft Auto again, and I think folks are like, we have Grand Theft Auto.
No, I think what happened mostly with 1 and 2 is 1 and 2 came out between Grand Theft Autos. It came out. Mm-hmm. It came out after San Andreas, but before 4.
But now every game comes out between Grand Theft Autos.
Very much. Yeah. Very much so. But I think the Gen Z thing really matters to us because none of us are Gen Z, and Gen Z is fucking weird to us. Most of us, Gen Z is fucking weird to me, dog. Like, for real, I don't understand them. And like you made a game and you called it Saints Row, but you catered it to someone else. It's Andromeda all over again. Like, you know what I mean? It's right. Andromeda all over again. Oh, and speaking of videos, just kind of pointing out the flaws in something, the Ackman's video of why Halo is failing is fantastic. Because he's talking about, like, you know, the fact that the guy who created Halo, he said this is a party game, and then once 343 took over, they took all of the party game aspects out of the fucking game.
Yeah, tossed it.
And Nisha is furious about that. Like, I don't know if y'all know Scar. I'm gonna keep saying Scar knows because Scar's been with me since day one. Sam knows, actually. My beloved wife Nisha fucking loves Halo. Like, she would jump on and play multiplayer with us for like hours and hours at a time. We ran through the co-op modes in Halo 1, 2, and 3 together. When she was pregnant with our youngest son, Kid Awesome, she played Halo when the kicking kept her up at night. She played Halo while she was nursing him. So when they said Halo Infinite was coming out, she was so excited. Mm-hmm. And then they said, we're not doing a co-op mode. And that's why I don't have an Xbox Series X yet. Because she was like, well, if there's no co-op mode, what's the use of even getting the game? She's never played a single player. Well, she's played a single player, but she was like, I liked it a lot more playing it with you. I liked it a lot more playing with my friends. And she feels like the multiplayer aspect has become more like Call of Duty than it is like the old Halos were. And
starting with 4, it's been Call of Halo.
Mm-hmm. And so with the loadouts and everything, that's when they made that first shift towards Call of Duty. And so now she's like, this isn't what I remember. So I think they're like the same as Saints Row. They lost their core audience trying to reach out to something that really shouldn't be reached out to. And I don't even blame Call of Duty for that. I honestly blame Fortnite. I blame Fortnite for Fortnite and
PUBG,
UBG, whatever it's
PUBG.
called.
Well, PUBG. But see, here's the problem. Like, Fortnite was supposed to be a completely different game.
And
Supposed to be a tower defense game. It's supposed to be a tower defense game.
And I saw that trailer in that first E3 where they showed that, and I said, that looks interesting. I will do that. Like, you go out and you collect the resources during the day, you build up your base because the monsters attack at night. And then PUBG came out, and somebody at Fortnite said, we can do that.
We could do that with what we got right now. We ain't even got to change shit.
I was working at GameStop at the time, and like all of our pre-orders and stuff for Fortnite were like nothing. And then they were like, well, nobody's playing our game, so we got to change things up.
Yeah,
I remember I bought for Devin. I remember that they were selling like for like $20 or something like that. You were able to get a license where you got the Fortnite points and you were get access to specialized things in this tower defense game. And I bought it for Devin because at that point in time, I think he was like 9 when it first came out, and nobody was fucking with it.
Nigga, I just heard the most disturbing shit I've ever heard.
I'm sorry.
They just added. I'm talking about Fortnite. I've never played Fortnite personally. Now they just added Dragon Ball Z characters, right?
Yep.
They got Bulma out here throwing Kamehamehas.
I'm done. Yep, I'm done.
Yep, it's a wrap.
I'm done, B.
We're over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hang it up.
You got Bulma out here throwing Kamehamehas? Like, nah, dog.
But I think what we're looking at is. So I think you guys are right when it comes to the deviation of the Saints Row formula. I think they deviated in 3 and continue to go along a separate path than what made them popular, right? And what appealed to a lot of people. And
but then also keep in mind that after 3, that's when shit got real shaky at THQ.
Yeah. True that. So they tried to switch things up to try to enhance the appeal so they can sell more copies. But a lot of the criticism now, Rashani, man, if you think that other game you talked about ran bad, this game runs bad on pretty much everything. Like, the only mode that it runs well in is the 1080p high frame rate mode. Because
it's getting killed on Series X.
Yeah.
Right now.
So is it out?
Mm-hmm. Well, the reviews.
No, it was out for review.
Yeah,
and it's not out till tomorrow.
Yeah, but the reviews came out.
Well, that's what I was going to wonder. Are people reviewing it bad because of actual game criticism, or are they reviewing bad because it's not catering to them and they're pissed off?
It has zero to do with the game's targeted market and solely about performance and bugs.
Say zero.
Well, most of the criticism the critique that I watched, so I watched Digital Foundry and I watched Mr. Matty Plays, and both criticisms were leveled. Of course, Digital Foundry is a technical channel anyway, but even Mr. Matty, he was like, man, this game is garbage, and he was all going on about the bugs and just about how the performance was all over the place. But Digital Foundry showed you where the performance was at. There's only one mode where it's locked to 60 frames, and that's it. Every other mode is uncapped.
Right, but I mean, trying to only cater towards Gen X and millennials is a way for your game to fail, because you want to try to capture younger people.
If that's the case, just come up with a whole new game instead of trying to reboot something that we remember.
Right.
We're the ones with the disposable income.
True. But
my entire disposable income goes towards my teenager.
Right.
So,
and also if you a little bit to understand Fortnite a little bit for how it's popular with kids and stuff, think of like the skins are action figures. And that's what they're doing. It's a playground to play with their action. Instead of buying toys, they're buying digital Goku and playing with their friends with their digital action figures.
Also, think about this. It's like if they rebooted MASH and brought Mash Bet made it Gen Z-ish. You know how many 50, 60-year-olds will be pissed off?
Yeah, true.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of it, but you guys have it's more endearing for you guys because every Saints Row I've tried, I haven't made it in 2 hours. I'm like, nope. Well, that's it for me. That's it.
You don't typically dig open world, right? In that way, like Grand Theft Autos and shit.
Not in the GTA way, right? Right. Yeah, no, I dig open worlds when they're.
Well, you obviously didn't go to Freckle Bitches. Come on.
True.
You go to Freckle Bitches and get you a couple of fun bags when you in the first the first 5 minutes of the first game.
Shoot, I think I started at 3 or 2. I had 2 and 3.
Two is that nigga to me. Like two is everything.
You and these deuces. You seem to like these deuces.
I'll never forget 2. Scar knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That is. I mean that whole scene is just fucking hilarious to me. And,
when he can't remember the word, he's like,
yeah, he just mumbling through the whole fucking song.
That's Gen Z. That's Gen Z right there. My son will sit in the back seat and mumble songs. He'll mumble 70% of a song and he don't know it. I'm like, dog, just let it go.
I'm gonna tell you who that really is. That's my mama. My mama don't know the words to no song. She be in the car mumbling the fuck out of everything. She don't know now word to nan song. Like even like her music. Like unless it's some church music. She down with the church music. But like you know, she's like, oh, I like this song, and then mumble the fuck out of it.
I mean, that's kind of me too. I mean, I'm definitely a music type of person, so I'm going to hear the music and the melodies before I do the lyrics. Even though I do, it's not that I don't like lyrics, and I don't. I mean, back in the day, you would get the CD and you would read along to the in the liner notes, right? But now you don't really have to look up the genius.com version, you know. But
or the A to Z lyrics, and half the time they're wrong.
I think Scott said the new Saints Row better have insurance fraud back. I think it does.
It does. It definitely does. What I'm more put out about, Scott, isn't the inclusion of insurance fraud, which everybody else loved, but it was never even close to one of my favord things. My favorite thing on the game was Professor Ginky's
that was 3.
Playground, third and fourth one where you could run through there and just shoot things and build up scores.
It was hoeing to me, like Pimpin'
and hoeing one.
That
was amazing.
Pimpin' and hoeing and drug trafficking. Drug trafficking is my absolute favorite thing to do with Saints Row, where you just in the passenger seat just letting motherfuckers have it while they go do their thing. I fucking love that shit.
Speaking of pimping and hoeing, they did mention in a couple of the reviews how misogynistic some of the stuff they do in the game is, and how some of the things didn't age well. And I think that's another danger of doing a game like Saints Row or GTA in this day and time, where you really do have to decide, like, am I willing to risk angering people to get across what I think is a joke? And I think, honestly, I don't think they're willing to take that risk like they used to. So I think Pimpin' and Hoeing won't be in the game. I'd be shocked if there was a 40-foot dildo still in the game, knocking people around.
I think they took that out.
Yeah, it's just it has to be done. I'll probably still buy it though, because if I give it 3 years, if I give it 2 years even, it'll be on the PlayStation store for like $4.
It'll be on Game Pass in a few months.
But that's the thing. Like I just looked at some of them, and it was like a 6 out of 10 on IGN, who normally kind of reviews a little high because.
Mm-hmm.
But so if it's kind of low on them,
then it sucks.
So if it's bad because of actual video game shit, then that's one thing, But like I will go ahead and say Fortnite is a good game. It's just not for me. And so I'm not going to be like, oh, Fortnite sucks because it doesn't cater to me. But
I feel the same about. But see, here's the problem with Gen Z motherfuckers. The moment I say that, the moment I say that, then they all go, "Well, you hate this." Like I had this conversation with my daughter about Minecraft. And she was just like, "Well, I can't really talk to you about Minecraft because you hate it." And I was just like, "I don't hate Minecraft. I just don't want to play it. I don't want to play a game where I got to make my own fun. That's not fun to me. If I play a video game, I want to play a game where someone designs some shit and I'm playing through what the fuck they designed.
yeah,
I do not
and it's
want
funny
to make my own fun."
because Minecraft has a mode to where you don't have to make your own fun, which is the actual game mode of Minecraft. But the kids don't want to play that. They want to play creative.
Exactly. And I'm just like, well, what you do is making your own fun. And I'm not about making my own fun.
I can
want you
only
to just...
what I do in Minecraft when I would play with my son, he's on creative, is I would like build pixel Mario, and once I'm done with that, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
You got to keep in mind too, Scar, while you're talking about building your own fun. This is a generation of kids who don't go outside.
True that.
So we built our own fun because we had to. It was a requirement that we built our own fun. We had to go outside. We had to make believe. We had to go out there. Like me, I played basketball. When I was out there on the court, if there was nobody else out there on the court, I had to create circumstances, situations for myself to make the game fun for me. These kids don't go outside, and we knew that was going to happen when PlayStation made, what was it, PlayStation Playground, where they had dodgeball, and we were like, that's the end of that. These kids need to build their own fun within this game, so now it's an option that's everywhere. I was in Vegas for a tournament, 3 weeks ago, maybe a little bit more, and while I was there, I saw a game by Raw Thrills in the arcade over at Circus. That was Minecraft Arcade Fighter.
What?
Yeah. Like, it was just Minecraft, but it was the version that Chase is talking about, where you're actually out there battling against people, and there's like a green enemy and all that, and it's literally a beat 'em up. And I kid you not, I've never seen this mode before in my life. I sat there transfixed, like, this actually looks kind of fun. I would play this.
I wanted to play the Minecraft Dungeons thing, where it's basically Minecraft but like Diablo, and like I was like, "Yo, I'm willing to play this." And I looked at my daughter, and I'm like, "I'm willing to play this game with you." And she's just
nope.
like,
She's
"Nah,
like, nah.
son."
She's like, nah, me.
son. Nah,
We
son,
don't do that
I'm
here.
shit, son.
We don't do that here, son. Real talk. And that's the thing. Like, I used to play video games with my kids. I can't play video games with my kids anymore because the games that they play don't appeal to me anymore, and the games that I play don't appeal to them because they're out there playing right now. They're playing Metaverse, Megaverse, Multiverse. So they're playing Multiverse, which I still say is Smash Brothers. And they're like, "Dad, you should come and play with us." Nah, I'm good. Because when I played that game with y'all before, it was called Smash Brothers, and I got beat up by y'all a few good times and stopped playing it. So I'm not going to play it now where y'all have a head start ahead of me and y'all are going to beat me up in it again. Why don't y'all come up here and play Super Mario Odyssey with me? I'm going back through that game.
I own Smash Brothers Brawl, and I have never played this shit.
And they looked at me like I had grown horns.
It was inside of a Switch that I bought for Pooh Bear.
When I was like, "Hey, why don't y'all play this with me? Why don't y'all play Mario Kart with me?" They're like, "Why?" So it's not. I think that in this day and age, and Supreme Dreams or whatever their name is, the comedy group, they made a skit about this where it's not so much about a game being enjoyable or even being fun. It's about a game going viral. And that's what happened with Among Us. The game wasn't fun. It just went viral.
I played Among Us and I was like...
Among Us is the reasons why I question every jury from now on. Like, the way that you can be swayed in Among Us, the way that you could be swayed in Among Us makes me question juries in general. Like, you know what? Just let the judge handle this shit. Like, juries are not what's hot on these streets no more after Among Us.
Dude, I knew the juries were sus after what I went through back in like 2009. What are we talking about?
I haven't had your
Like public opinion is easily fallible, but these kids will put out something, or they. Once I found out that companies are literally paying streamers to stream their games, you lost all credibility with me as far as if your game is fun or not. And so the only thing that I could depend on now is my own memories, which is why people are talking about, I only listen to 90s music, I only watch 90s music movies. Nah, I only play like 2004 games.
2004.
You're muted, Scar. You're muted, homie.
I pointed. Well, Sam is above me on my screen, but he's over there on the other screen. Like, wait, it's this way.
Yeah.
On that screen.
You're pointing at me.
It depends on how large your window is, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Keep going.
But that's Sam. Sam only listens to old music. He don't listen to new shit.
I mean, I've tried. There's some music I listen to now. It's just like, but I'm just like, okay, that's good enough.
Cool. Now I'm gonna go back to what I know.
I'll just move on to whatever I was listening to before.
Yeah. Honestly, if I could get all y'all together right now, we went in there and played Gears of War 3 Horde mode, I'd be happy as shit for a really long time.
Right. Listen, we are now.
I've been trying to play Gears 3 with my homeboy for a long fucking time.
I am your homeboy.
First of all, Chase fucking started the game and then stopped fucking playing for like 2 goddamn years.
Really, Chase?
Chase does this thing where he'll be like, let's play some Gears of War. Do you know how long it took us to play through Gears 2? Like, it took like 4 fucking years to play Gears 2.
I have access to my Xbox most of the time.
Exactly.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing.
But
I actually prefer the Gears 2 Horde mode. It was before they did all that weird crap. You know how they were when they started to say all this turret crap and everything. Put a turret here, put a turret
Yeah. The defense mode. Yeah.
There you go. That because they did that to they did that to Assassin's Creed, and I was like, okay, I'm out.
Or I
did it for everything.
I did not like 4 at all as a game until the very end when you're in the big fucking mech suit.
When you're like going through town like Godzilla.
That was it.
That was the only good part of 4. It took me a long time to play through 4 because I was just like, yo, I'm not enjoying this. I don't like JD at all.
Yeah,
he doesn't get any better in 5.
It's you know what Gears of War 4 is the Book of Boba Fett.
It is. It's the worst one.
The game does not get good until Marcus shows the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean?
Man,
like,
Marcus / Mando.
Yeah, the game, you won't feel nothing until Marcus shows up, and you're like, all right, I'm with it now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was with it when the old people started coming in. I was like, oh snap, it's Cole, it's Baird, and all them.
Yeah. So, that's the part that's when I started playing 4, and I was like, all right, I'm in. But like this shit, I just couldn't Gears of War has any game that has been that high fallen so far, other than Halo.
So you said other than Halo, like Halo isn't the other big Microsoft exclusive game out there.
Halo. I mean, I despise 4. I'm very lukewarm on 5. Infinite, I played it for like a decent little stretch, and then I just put it down, and then I played a bunch of multiplayer, but I never went back to the story. Like, I never went back to the story. Like, literally, I am still exactly where I was after the first week, where I got to the other side of the bridge of the first island. I have not done anything else in that game since then.
Look, it took me so long to finish that game, man. I was so happy to get it done. I couldn't wait to delete that thing off my hard drive and free up so many gigs of space, man. I was so happy to be done with that game. The game
wait, were you talking about 5 or Infinite?
Infinite.
I still haven't gone through Infinite.
So I think that one thing we have to confront as adults, like the kids won't look at the history of this, and other folks might argue it because, fanboys or whatever. We have to confront that for a very long time, games have been following the leader, and that's when things really started to drop off. Like, when games were no longer looking to innovate, they were just looking to be relevant, is when we started losing the creativity that got us stuff.
Well,
that
we kind of brought up for music as well. Like, like one thing that he was mentioning, and I was like, this isn't really a good thing, is that rock artists are still stuck on release. They release an album, the album sells, people, or the album streams, or release, not about streaming or anything, they release an album, right, of like multiple songs, when if it was a few years ago, it would have been a single. People will they don't release albums anymore, they just release singles, so they don't release as much music. But then I'm like, if I like a song, I kind of don't want to just listen to that one song. I would like, at least 20 minutes of music kind of like that. Yeah. But now it's even.
I think that's the difference between us and young people, because we dig your body of work. Like the Kendrick album that came out, I listened to that shit like a million fucking times as a whole. But like the fact that the Kendrick album doesn't have a definitive single is why that shit died fast.
Actually, I picked it up after everybody else, or I gave it time for the craze to die down, because I don't trust people's opinions. And sat down and listened to it while I was driving to LA. And that's when it hit me how deeply that was a mental health album. And so how it reached some people and how it reached me is different. I mean, back in the day, folks were fighting over you say something bad about a musician you don't like, and all of a sudden war breaks out in the streets. Nowadays, I'm just going to sit back and keep my opinion to myself. But I'll tell you right now, I thought that Mr. Morale and the Steppers, personally, was a more important album in my life than Damn was from Kendrick Lamar.
But I was going to say is that now the single thing is actually a thing of the past now. Now it's like a 30-second. They need to. If a song doesn't have a hook, it needs to go on TikTok.
What can rip on TikTok? Yep. And I still don't have a TikTok.
And I mean, there's songs that aren't conducive to that. There's songs that are more meandering or more drawny, and that's not going to hit on TikTok. So now, instead of having a body of work, and then it went down to like a single, now we're just like, your whole identity is just 30 seconds.
Going back to what you were talking about with Korn, like, think about, like, if Chutes and Ladders came out now. That long-ass intro with the fucking bagpipes would not fly now. Absolutely would not fly now. It's just...
Well, just like we were talking about earlier with In Vogue, that song with, like, the acapella intro. They just skip right past it. Like, okay, on to whatever's next on Spotify.
Yeah, that's where we are right now. Like, I'll be honest. I listen, in order to make sure that I listen to current music on Spotify, I started a blend, which is where you and some of your friends do a playlist together, and your music blends together, and it changes, weekly. I started a blend with my 4 kids and my wife. That way, I know that while I like old school music, I'm going to be hearing new music and new R&B and all these things that I may not have ever came to before. I'll be forced to hear it, and I'm forcing myself to listen through it. But some of them songs, I'll give it like 4 seconds of just intro music, and I'll be like, skip. And I've heard songs. I know that there are songs where it'll start off like Days of Our Lives. It starts off with one beat, and then it changes into something else that is just amazing. And I know I'm leaving some music behind that I need to know. I just can't do it.
I will tell you something. I did a couple weeks ago, and I think I talked about this on the show. I watched a video of all of the rappers who died last year. And it's like 250 rappers.
That died last year?
Yes.
Damn.
200 of them, it was gun violence, which is fucking fucked up. Yeah. But all of the rappers that were like overseas rappers and stuff like that. It was like stabbings, COVID, shit like that. But like all of the ones here. But what they did was they played a snippet of each of these rappers actually doing their thing. Other than the old people who died, like DMX and a couple of others, it sounded like I was hearing the same 5 songs over and over again.
Yep, the same mumble.
No, I don't call it mumble rap. I think people did just kind of lump everything into mumble rap, and it's kind of disingenuous. And like, congratulations, you just became your parents. I
don't care. That's what it sounds like to me. And I can rap. I used to rap. So when I hear something and I can't hear what you're saying, speak your ass up. Speak your ass up.
Congratulations, you just became your parents.
I know. I got a 15-year-old and a 23-year-old. So there it is.
You have a 50-year-old?
Yeah. So,
but the idea that, like, I mean, a lot of those songs sounded exactly the same, and it's just like, and like, remember, I sat through the whole video. 250 people who died. Like, I watched the whole 20 something minute. It was like short snippets of each song, a song by each of them, and like most of it was I counted how many people I actually knew, and it was 7. But like, out of everybody who's not in that 7, it was like the same 5 songs kept playing over and over again. It didn't sound any different from each other at all.
I like the fact that Rashani actually goes out and actively makes an effort to listen to something new. Right now, I'm at the point where I'm just too old to do that. I'm too old to go out here and try to fake something that I don't like. If I don't like it, I don't like it. I ain't even about to waste my time.
Well, I don't try to fake shit, but like, I definitely look at things on Bandcamp to see in genres that I do like, and a lot of it is new releases from new bands and stuff. Like, but a lot of people today, like the TikToks and stuff, is their top 40. Like, even when I was younger, I didn't listen to top 40. You know what I mean? Like, so
I'm different. I'm different from a lot of you because I listen to a bunch of marching band stuff, and when I hear a marching band play a song, I actively go seek the real song just to see how good or bad this interpretation of this song is. And I found a lot of new music and like artists I've never heard of, or songs that I probably would have never came across that way. So that is the difference between me and pretty much everybody else. Because nobody else cares about marching.
I was finding new music, like when I worked at Target, I worked in the electronic section, and they had like ads playing like on the big video wall, and they would have like featured songs that they were like still in the CD of, and I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds nice. I'm going to go find out who that is. So that's how I found a lot of new music.
Yeah, but that's also how you end up with a whole Crazy Town CD and all you wanted was Butterfly.
You know how many CDs I bought back in the day just for one song?
Yeah.
And then ended up finding some gems in the back of it because, honestly, Astero, I should have brought y'all some Astero to listen to. I'm so ashamed.
I still have that. I still have that Ideal CD. I still have that Profile CD.
I heard her on the Chris Rock show back in like 1998 when Chris Rock had a talk show on HBO. She came out and performed, and then she did a song with the Goody Mob called "Country Living," The World I Know. Just based off those 2 songs, I begged my aunt, because I didn't have a card back then, to go and buy me a CD.
Was that before or after CeeLo left and they made the album called One Monkey Don't Stop No Show?
Before, because she actually, her and CeeLo actually did a song together on her second to last album as well, so it was before. But I got her album, and one thing that I learned from my mom, because that was back with cassette tapes, you don't fast forward nothing, because you might miss something. So,
or like 8 tracks where you couldn't really do that successfully.
8 tracks was not a rule in my family, but so I sat down and I listened to that entire CD, and that's how I found the hidden tracks. You know, the ones where for some reason back in the 90s they have like 4 minutes of fucking silence, and then all of a sudden a song will just pop out of nowhere, and you'd be like, "That's great." But listening to a whole CD is the way that I found the Paradise interlude on Blackstreet's album, Another Level.
Scott said he got that profile CD.
Terrible.
That's like saying you got the intro CD. Like,
I mean,
you bought the intro CD for Come Inside, right? And then it was just like, all right, man, it might be something else here.
I mean, but that does happen, right? But for the most part, to me, a lot of one-hit wonders, their whole album is really good. It's just that one song it kind of hit. Like, dude, like I love the fucking Semisonic album. Like I when it came out, I was like, oh, I like this Closing Time song, and then when it got played out, I was like, yeah. I mean, it's still an okay song, but it just got played out.
What else did they have? Is that the only?
That was it. That was, I think.
They
mainstream. That was it.
They had some other singles, so they're not a one-hit wonder. But that whole album's good, and that dude, like the main lead singer, whatnot, as a writer, he has put in work. He was like writing for Tom Morello and Adele and like fucking. I mean, it's like list after list after list.
Kind of like that, the chick from 4 Non Blondes. Like, she wrote a ton of stuff for like Pink and.
He wrote for Aguilera. John Legend.
Oh, did she? I didn't know that. The lead singer.
The lead singer from 4 Non Blondes. She wrote a lot for Pink and Christina Aguilera. She wrote "Beautiful" for Christina Aguilera.
Oh, okay.
She did most of Pink's second album. And she did get this party started as a goof, and that shit just happened to hit.
Well, it's good to see that she tried. Oh my God, she tried.
I've had hits and misses buying a whole CD or one song. Mm-hmm. Like, my biggest miss, it's not even Crazy Town. It's fucking Hollywood Undead. Oh my God. They had one song that was on Rock Band, and I played that song quite a few times. And then I was like, all right, cool. I think I might be able to get with this. They were kind of Linkin Park-ish, but without the teenage angst. So I was like, you know what? Cool. Let's do that. That album was trash. Dog. That shit was bad. And I bought the shit used. I bought the shit from Warehouse Music. So like, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to keep this. Like, I bought it used, so like it's okay. Like it cost me less than lunch, so like I guess I'm okay with this. But like, bruh, that shit was horrible.
So that's funny, man. So there are two that come to my mind where that happened. One, my brother bought the Paperboy first CD, right?
Ooh.
With Diddy
on it.
I mean, okay.
I would have warned you about that.
That was tough.
Paperboy had one song that I will ever listen to, and that's Jurassic Harlem because of the Jurassic Park sample. But like, even that song, I don't care about the song. I care about the sample.
Man,
I care that they made the Jurassic Park theme into a beat. It's like, oh, somebody's fucking clever. But like, yo, dog. Look, outside of his Freestyle Fridays, like I'm not getting up on no Paperboy, dog. Like that's not. Nope.
And then the second one is was it Key Flow who did I Wish I Was a Little Bit Taller.
Oh, it was Skilo, and I was about to say the same thing.
Yep, yeah, it was.
Skilo fooled me.
Yeah, man, fooled everybody. So. Yeah, rough.
I have no shame in saying that I am the proud owner of Shaq Diesel.
No, I fuck with Shaq's albums. Don't front on me, dog. Don't front on me, dog.
And that's another place where
I hadn't heard him in a while, so I need to listen to him again.
That's another place where listening to the album all the way through brought me some. I wouldn't call them gems for anybody else, but for Shaq, they were gemish. Because he has a song on there called Boom, which I really enjoy more than I Got Skills, which I still am trying to figure out how Shaq, who was 7'1", said that he was big like a gorilla, 6'7", extra large.
Nigga. What's up, Doc, with the Foo Snickers, nigga? Let me tell you about. I was on the Foo Snickers when that shit came.
A long time ago, they interviewed him and they asked him, "What's your favorite rap group?" And he said, "Oh, the Fushnikins." I was like, "Oh, I gotta go check this out." All right.
I still don't know how they got that name, Fush. Scott, did you know that before Domino was on? And yes, I think everybody on the West Coast bought Domino's album for Sweet Potato Pie. But
no, Ghetto Jam.
Before Domino was on his own solo album for Ghetto. You right.
Ghetto Jam.
Ghetto Jam was the one.
Yeah, but before Ghetto Jam, before he had Sweet Potato Pie, he was on the Bloods and Crips album. He's the first person.
The infamous Bloods and Crips album.
He's Banging on Wax. Yeah. He's on the very first song on Banging on Wax. His name is Genuine Draft.
You are
lying. And this is before he started rapping as Domino. Is
his last name Miller?
I laughed my hair because it's the first thing he says. He says, "Genuine Draft, motherfuckers. Can't you see this shiver as I aim for the heart but connect with the liver?" I was like, "That's Domino." Nah, that's Genuine Draft. No, that's Domino. You ain't gonna argue with me. I'm a gangbanger. Bloods and Crips in my car.
So he has bad aim? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
He aimed for the heart, but he got your liver?
Yeah.
Gangsta Lean, that's DRS.
DRS, they're from my area.
I saved myself. I bought the single, dog. I was not about to buy that whole shit.
I grabbed that single. I think I picked it up from one of my friends. They were like, "Yeah, you can have the album," because they went ahead and copied it or whatever and already had the song. But that song's still right now, man. That song is still nice.
Wait, you only bought the single? My God. Yeah, man.
All right, I'm gonna
Did you buy the single version of Protect?
Protect.
No, Protect Your Neck.
Oh, Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah, because the single version,
I didn't know that.
The single version is the only version that is completely uncensored. Other than
on the West Coast, I don't even know if they had a single version.
We
all
know the story of my Wu-Tang faux pas. So like I don't really want to regurgitate that here.
Right.
But we know that I just knew Method Man, but they told me it was on the Wu-Tang Clan album, and I was like, cool. So I went there looking for a Clan album, and I ended up with X-Clan by accident. Then glorious.
Remember when I was trying to remember a song, and it had a beat that had like some sort of stringed instrument that sounded like ding. I finally figured what that was. It's Noriega.
Okay.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. What is it? What?
It was Super Thug.
Oh, that You didn't know that's what that was?
Do you know Super Thug is one of Michael Jackson's favorite fucking songs? And
I believe it because Michael Jackson's a fucking super thug.
And to the point where the Neptunes sent him songs. And he sent them motherfuckers back because they didn't sound like Super Thug. So Justin Timberlake ended up recording those songs that they made for Michael Jackson on Justified. All of the Neptune's songs on Justified were originally Michael Jackson songs that he didn't want because they didn't sound like fucking Super Thug.
All I'm saying is that if I'm a general in the army and I get a call that Manuel Noriega's in the Philippines and I gather everybody up and I fly out there ready to finally capture Manuel Noriega and it's fucking Nori in the desert screaming what the fucking Cocker Spaniel, I'm furious.
Yeah, you upset.
I love how he explained the what. He said the what is how he counted bars. So that's how he knew how to count the bars to actually start rapping.
Wow.
I appreciate the fact that he had a confused woman singing the backup. What?
That was Khalees on it. That was Khalees.
What? What?
I think that was Khalees on Super
You're
Thug.
right. I think you're right.
Yes,
What?
yeah. Now
What?
that I'm thinking about it, yeah, it does kind
What?
of sound like her.
Yeah.
What? This all y'all want me to say for real? What?
Yo,
What?
Rashadi, there was a
What?
second. There was a second Bloods and Crips album. Banging on Wax.
Yes, there
2.
was. Yes, there was. This all continues. See, now you got to remember, I'm from Cali, and my brother still might be a Blood, so Banging on Wax got play in our home. Except only one side of the album got played because one side was the Blood side, the other side was the Crip side. I know nothing of the Crip side of that album.
There were only 4 tracks on that whole album that I enjoyed.
I really love Banging on Wax. Huh?
I grew up, and it was not all the tracks were Crips. I'm saying you grew up around Bloods. I grew up around Crips.
Hold on,
So,
there was a Banging on Wax 3.
What?
Electric
No.
Boogaloo.
And I had to. That was not Khalees. It was some lady named Tammy Lucas. So
Oh, she did.
I
She
mean,
did songs in the early '90s. I know
the-
Tammy Lucas.
the Banging on Wax thing, you could literally get shot for singing Banging on Wax in the wrong neighborhood, depending on what song you're singing. Because I know the Crip side had a song where it was just them saying Crip over and over again. Crip, Crip, Crip. Dun 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 dun. Ricket. And so if you went down the street singing that in a Crip neighborhood, even though it's on the Crip side, you're going to get shot for saying Ricket.
Yeah. Man.
Never made sense
I don't
to
know
me.
nothing about none of that shit. The only thing I know about fake Bloods and Crips from the Freddy versus Jason videos where Freddy Krueger is rapping and he's a Blood and Jason is a Crip, but he doesn't talk. So they made a song called 13th Street for him, and it was fucking dope. I like that song.
Back to albums that I bought for one song and then the rest of it was like, why'd I do this? I bought the WWE Attitude album.
I bought all of them shit, son. What are you talking about?
Why?
The one where
The rap one, the
nigga's
one that was like
name,
a
Mac
rap
10.
reference?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
with Run
Aggression.
DMC,
I
yeah,
bought
The
ones
Aggression
with
album.
just-
Aggression.
I
Method
bought
Man
the
was ahead
ones
of
with
one.
just the themes, like not even rapping and shit over it, just the themes.
Nope. I
them
bought it
shits
for
too.
Mac 10 rapping over the Big Show theme. And then
Wow.
literally 2 weeks later, Napster came out and I could have downloaded the shit for free.
Yeah.
I did like the Run DMC DX song. That was pretty good.
Well, it's the
Oh.
Big Show. It was Mac 10
I'm sorry,
and
Scott.
MCA
No,
together.
Nah, Scott said he bought Can I Bust for second round knockout.
I can understand why he would have done it. I wouldn't have done it, but I did do it. And I'm on the West Coast, so I bought it. And then the rest of the shit, it wasn't to me the fact that Cannabis couldn't rap. That wasn't the case.
No,
The fact was that Cannabis, no, it was the fact that Cannabis sounded like an East Coast rapper. And he was literally the first time I listened to an East Coast rapper.
What, really?
So I was
He's
listening
not from
to
the
him.
East? He's not from the East Coast?
I don't know. I was listening to it and I was like, you're not hot. Like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Why did I even buy this? What happened was, I think that I bought the 12 CDs for a penny thing.
CD Warehouse. What you know about
Yep.
that, son?
What Columbia is?
And I
Oh,
just
sorry,
need to choose
Columbia.
one more.
Yeah.
Cannabis was born in Jamaica, man. Right
Oh.
near the beach. Boy!
Boy,
but it said his origin is the Bronx, actually.
Oh,
his
okay.
origin is getting melted by Thanos, aka LL Cool J.
That,
Which
no bullshit.
never happened.
No.
Which should have
Bullshit.
never
The
happened.
Ripper
Ripper Strikes Back was garbage.
The
Sorry.
Ripper Strikes Back.
No, but here's the thing.
Is like
Here's-
ether to me. Like both of those songs are trash.
Okay,
But
see,
here's
now,
the thing.
okay,
What I'm saying is this.
Fighting
It's
words,
not
sorry.
that it's
Right,
good rhymes. It's not that it's good rhymes. It is quite simply the power of popularity.
Yes.
Like, because no, both of those songs, I mean, LL Cool J hasn't had a good diss track since the I'm Bad, Walking with a Panther, or Hotter and
When he-
Depper,
when he
whatever
was
it was
going up
called back in the
against what's his name?
80s.
Mama said no.
When he was going up against
That's the last one.
Cool Mo D.
Kumo D, there you go.
That was the last good time,
Oh,
but
didn't he
because of
also
his
have
popularity,
Did he also have beef with Ice Cube in them?
I wish he would. Ice-T would have literally beat him up.
He had beef with somebody after that. No, Ice-T. Ice-T is who he had beef with.
I can see that. I don't know if Ice-T is a fighter.
He's a police killer.
Ice-T was really not very good as a rapper.
But he was a great MC. Like seeing him on Breaking was one of the happiest moments of my life.
Yeah.
Seeing him trying to dance.
It was one of the happiest moments of my life, fam. Like that just went to show you that when the
he in a gangster, his real name is Tracy. Like, what are we talking about here?
When the moment is right and the music hits you the right way, everybody feels that joy of music. Like there's no way to avoid it.
I actually sent away by mail to get Jack the Ripper. The Ripper Strikes Back. I actually sent away mail order to get that thing. Yeah. Well, it came with some other songs too, so it all evened out.
I mean, I just want to really stop and give LL Cool J credit for being enough of an asshole to go back and re-record his verse after Cannabis turned his shit in. He was like, "Oh no, this shit ain't fine." Yeah, you know who else did that?
No, he made him change. He made him change Cannabis's rhyme. He's like, "No, I don't like that. Change that." And then he went and added on his.
Then he added on his after he made him change it. History lesson. Another person who did that. So we all know the game. Jayceon Taylor. The game beefed with everybody when he first started off. All he did was beef and name dropped. And so he was beefing with a rapper named Yuckmouth from out here on the West Coast, one of the members of the Loonies.
I've heard this story. This is a good story. Listen.
And so Yuckmouth and him go back and forth for a while. This is when the game is with G Unit, but he's not yet beefing with 50. So Yuckmouth and the game have a mutual friend who convinces them to squash the beef. And in showing that they squash the beef, they do a song together that's I think it's called something like "No More Beef," and it's Yuckmouth and the game and a rapper from this group called Caution named Gonzo, who was at that time on Yuckmouth's label. He's with the regime. Yuckmouth does his part, and Gonzo does his part. And then they take their parts and they send it over to the game. They don't all do it in the same studio. They send the unfinished track down to the game, and the game has the last word on this song. He has the last verse on this song. This nigga
turns all the way around on him.
Takes the opportunity to completely unobstructed. There's nobody standing in front of Yuckmouth and Gonzo. They have their backs turned, and this nigga pulled out a shotgun and blows them the fuck up.
Yep.
He completely goes apeshit on both of them, and there's nothing they can say because as soon as he's done, he turns the track into the DJ.
That's it. It's over.
He says, "It ain't about crippin', it ain't about bloodin'. I'm only fucking with you because Speedy's my homeboy's cousin. It ain't about bloods, it ain't about crips. It's about Gonzo sucking Yuckmouth's dick." And it went downhill from there.
Man.
That was amazing. I remember that.
You muted Scar.
There's two other instances that I know of where someone recorded some shit after the fact and it was like, whoa, we did not sign up for this. There is a song where Lil Wayne is dissing Jay-Z. And Jadakiss and someone else is on that song. And
oh yeah, no, they don't want that work.
They had no idea that that's what was going to happen with this. So, like, they had to release press releases like, we didn't know this was happening. We recorded our verses. We had no idea this is going to happen because he re-recorded his shit. This was not the original version that we heard. He changed this shit up. And they were the other people on that song was like super apologetic. I gotta find who else was on that song, but that one. And then there's one that is not adversarial, but if you ever hear Tracy Lee talk about "Keep Your Hands High" with him and Biggie, is like Holy shit! Like he said, someone, they had like management or something in common, and he said he wanted to do a song with Big. Somebody set it up, and so he said he finally it kept being delayed, He finally got Big in the studio. So they in the studio, they drinking, smoking, just kind of having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And he said every once in a while, Biggie would just kind of stop and just kind of mumble to himself a little bit. And he just kept going. And he said, and then he was just like, Biggie was hitting him up on game and, telling him about the music business and all this kind of stuff. And like, crazy shit. Tracy Lee's a lawyer now, so we can see what happens with the music stuff that he was told. And then he said, after hours, he's like, yo, my record company is paying for this studio time. Are we actually going to record the song? And he said, this whole time, Biggie ain't write nothing down. This is when the legend of Biggie doesn't write anything down happened. And he said, no, I'm ready to go. He's like, all right. He puts on and if you ever hear that song, if you ever hear that song, Biggie starts off hot. Like, real hot. And he said he knew Biggie was coming, so he wrote his best shit. Like, he said he wrote all of his best shit. It's like, yo, Biggie's coming. I'm about to impress him and all this other stuff. And he said Biggie put those fucking headphones on and he started rapping. And he said immediately his world crashed. And he's just like, how the fuck do I get out of this?
Yeah.
Like, I gotta rap against that. I gotta rap with that. So he told Biggie that they ran out of studio time, so he could go write all of his shit over again. And now, in fairness to him, what he rewrote ended up being pretty decent. Like, if you're on a song with one of the greatest to ever do this, I think he held his own pretty decently. But like, he was just like, oh no! It was like that SpongeBob meme with the concentric circles. Like, holy shit! What the fuck's happening here? Like, he said that's what happened to him as soon as Biggie put those headphones on, and he said he had to go back and rewrite all his shit.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. Yeah, I'd be intimidated too, man. That's why when you bring people in the studio like that, you just go ahead and go first, bro. So you lose all that intimidation factor. You go ahead and go first, because if they're featuring on your track, you need to give them the best drop anyway. They gonna want the best drop. That means they're gonna come in a little bit after the bridge, right? Or they're gonna come in at the bridge, or they're gonna come in after the bridge, after there's a break after the bridge. So you're gonna give them the best drop. So you just go ahead and spit your game first, and then let them top it off. Seriously.
Okay. That Lil Wayne song is called It's Good, and it had Jadakiss and Drake went first. Jadakiss went first, Drake went second, and then Lil Wayne came after and completely fucked everything about that song up.
Man. I would have told Jay-Z I had nothing to do with it too. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
there was a certain point in time where Jay-Z was known for putting that nigga up on the Summer Jam screen. I didn't have nothing to do with it.
I mean, at a Summer Jam, Jay-Z brought out Michael Jackson once. Real deal Michael Jackson on the Summer Jam stage. Like, that nigga could do anything at that time. I mean, Michael Jackson was at Summer Jam. Just the fact that Michael Jackson was at Summer Jam is like, how the fuck did you make this shit happen?
I have a question. So, on HBO currently, there is on Netflix currently, there is a documentary about Woodstock 99. On HBO, there's also a documentary about Woodstock 99, but it's not, I feel like it's not to the same level as the one that's on Netflix.
I heard the opposite, actually. I've seen the HBO one, but I haven't seen the Netflix one.
I've seen them both. The HBO one, I felt like the Netflix one thing that they pledged to do that I feel like they were more successful at than the HBO one was to only have people involved who were actually at Woodstock 99. So the HBO one, the more I watch it, the more it feels like it was done by Bill Simmons. And the more I watch, the more it feels like a Bill Simmons podcast episode, because he has like Stephen Hyden in there, and he has what's his name, Wesley Morris in there from the New York Times and whatnot, and other folks who were like, yeah, I wasn't there, but I'm gonna get my thoughts in, I'm gonna get my statements in. The Netflix one is talking more with concert goers and stagehands and artists who were there. And I wanted to ask, especially you, Chase, since, you know, rock is your thing, and I figured that you might have some thoughts on it.
Yeah, I talked about.
Do you think that? Do you think that Limp Bizkit, that Fred Durst caused the whole issue?
I mean, even in the people, I heard people say that that's what they got out of the documentaries, but then I was like, did you even watch it? Because it seemed like it really portrayed and showed the incompetence of the promoters.
Yes.
Like that question and answer part in the HBO one, when he was just like shooting down people when they were like bringing in concerns, and he was just like basically
do you want to get a bag and clean this up yourself? I'll pay you $1,000 to do it.
But no, like when I saw it back in the day, you know, they had the DVD, which the DVD was basically what was shown on TV but uncensored, and all that stuff was cool. You know, I remember seeing like the Korn part with like where it's the crowd seemed like a fucking ocean.
Yeah.
And I heard them talk about, I don't know if it was on that documentary, but Jonathan Davis talked about how the reason that happened is because there was so many people. They were all jumping to the beat of the song, but the sound was traveling, so the people in the back were hearing it at a delay, so it made this like ocean wave effect.
Yeah,
which is kind of insane. But like, so I would see stuff like that, and I remember seeing like a fire in the background. You know what I mean? When Chili Peppers was on, but then on the documentary, it's like Lord of the Flies shit. Like, I didn't know it was that bad. Like, it was. I was like, holy fuck, this is insane. Like, but yeah, it's a really crazy point in time. Hey
guys, I gotta run. I'll see y'all later.
All right, later, man.
Peace out,
Sam.
But I mean, don't you think?
I was muted looking at something, and I didn't even get a chance to say bye.
The thing about, I feel like it was complete incompetence. Like the fact that because they had, when they did Woodstock '94, and they talk about this in more detail on the Netflix documentary, but when they did Woodstock '94, like 120,000 people snuck in underneath the fence.
But isn't that, well, they were like, but that's kind of the Woodstock thing, right? But they were like, we want to do the Woodstock thing, but we want to make money.
They wanted to make money, and because that happened, they were like, we're not doing that again, so they set up the next one on an Air Force base that had actual walls that were, to quote Mike Tyson, impregnable.
But it's crazy because Woodstock '99 was, they always talked about how there was no water and how it never rained and stuff, but you still saw people muddy.
I think that was the problem.
That's because they broke the pipes.
They were literally
to get water,
but they weren't covered in mud. They were covered in shit.
That was shit. Yeah. And somebody on the Netflix one, and after you watch it, hit me up. We'll talk about it because I thought it was fascinating. They got, I think they called it sewage mouth or trench mouth from drinking water that had fecal matter in it. And they didn't know. They were just drinking water out of this fountain that people have been bathing in and all that kind of stuff. The one thing that the HBO one did that I appreciated more than the Netflix one was they confronted the extent of sexual assaults that those men were doing to the women. Like, they didn't shy away from it. They, I felt like the Netflix one, they were just like, oh yeah, and by the way, this happened. So, I was wondering if y'all saw, because those type of documentaries I find fascinating. I counted. I literally counted one black person at Woodstock '99 who wasn't performing. I was shocked to find out the Roots performed there.
Well, what do you think about the DMX part? Because they talked about how DMX was singing, you know, the song that DMX sings, and then all the words were said out loud, and he was pretty much, you know, hoping that they would. He would stop the beat for them to sing along with the N-word, and it's mostly white people.
Yeah. DMX.
That was DMX with the red shorts jumper with the Timbs on.
Yeah.
I feel like DMX at that point in time, he had just started. 99. His first 2 albums came out in 98.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he was doing whatever he had to do to gain an audience.
Yep.
But I can't fault him for that, because you do what you got to do to get paid. You do what you have to do to play.
He did.
They don't know that. They don't know that.
He did look weird on that big ass stage, though. You know, because it was like empty looking. But
and DMX was not a big man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
He was not as large of a man as he appeared in all these music videos and shit.
It was just weird seeing how that all played out. And Blue, I urge y'all to watch it.
I want to watch the Lakers documentaries on HBO, because, you know.
You mean the one that's on Hulu? Or they're like, this the real story?
Hulu. It's on Hulu. It's on Hulu. I'm sorry. Because, you know, when Winning Time came out, they said, Magic Johnson said, like, I ain't watching that shit. I'm working on my own thing, and Jeannie is working on her own thing. And his came out on Apple, I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I love to read. I say that with, you know, sound like somebody who's, I'm hoity-toity. No, I love to read. And one thing that I read multiple times, I have it on my iPad that I'm looking at right now, is Showtime by Jeff Pearlman.
Which is what
Jeff Pearlman is a reporter from Sports Illustrated, like a really good one, and a really good writer. He's written books. He wrote Love Me, Hate Me, The Making of an Antihero, which was the autobiography of Barry Bonds, and he pulls no punches. He did one about the Dallas Cowboys, and he pulled no punches. And so when he did this one about the Lakers, he pulled no punches. So when y'all are sitting here talking about, when they're sitting there talking about this movie isn't factual, and Adam McKay made this up, and all that kind of stuff, it's based on Jeff Pearlman's book.
Right.
Which he interviewed all of y'all for. So you can miss me with the wounded tiger look.
Right.
Because now stuff is coming out that you weren't comfortable with. You were cool with it being a book. Once you put it in a book, you know what you did? In order for it to be in a book, you signed a contract. It is now public domain. And Adam McKay was like, I'd like to do a show about this. And Jeff Pearlman got paid, and now there's a show that you don't appreciate. Now all of a sudden you want to change history. Right. But you can't. This is you.
I only have one gripe with Winning Time. Cookie ain't look like Cookie. Nothing like Cookie.
Right.
She ain't look nothing like Cookie. I don't know if she acted like
Taraji. She don't need to though all the time though, right?
That wasn't Taraji. No. I'm talking about Cookie Johnson, not Cookie.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
But
hey, Cookie looked great.
She looked great. She ain't look like Cookie though. I mean, they should have just put EJ in a wig. I think he could have did it.
Really?
Bogus.
Really? Well, we ain't gonna do a song about Cookie in here. That's like you talking bad about Mariah Carey. I will not have it. Oh.
No, all I'm saying is she didn't look like Cookie. I didn't say nothing bad about her performance or anything else.
You stopped me from talking bad about Tiny, and you want to talk about Cookie.
I'm saying Cookie in the show didn't look like real life Cookie. That's all I'm saying. She looked nothing like real life Cookie. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying she didn't look like Cookie at all.
So Scott wants to know, was the casting better than Lifetime movies? I think any casting is better than Lifetime movies.
Yeah, because we'll never forgive Lifetime for what they did with the Michael Jackson story, putting Flex Alexander out there.
And then it looked silver. Like when he was Michael in his lighter phases, his skin just looked silver for some reason. I'm like, why does he look like the fucking Tin Man right now?
It went back to his Wiz days. No,
Well,
he was
the
Scarecrow.
only
then.
thing
was the
that has
Scarecrow.
worse
That's right. That's
casting
right.
than the Lifetime movies would probably be Spider-Man 3 with
Yeah, was it Topher Grace and
as Venom.
As
yeah.
Eddie Brock.
Yeah, I was like, man, I don't know about that one, but no, so
No. Are we? Oh, so we gonna completely skip over Dane DeHaan as Green Goblin, right? Like, so that's what we gonna do.
was that who
We
that
gonna say
was?
that Dane DeHaan, not in that movie, but like in the whatchamacallit movies, the Andrew Garfield movies. Dane DeHaan was horrible in that role. And then when he became the Green Goblin, like his makeup and shit was just like, why they do that to that man?
Well, the fact that it took the Far From Home or No Way Home to come out for Andrew Garfield's movies to actually even get some love and respect shows you that nobody knows who the hell this is you're talking about, because nobody really remembers those movies.
Yeah,
I didn't hate those movies. In fact, I don't hate any of the Spider-Man movies.
Me either. But
there's a couple of
once
MCU movies that are like, holy shit, I'll never watch that ever again. Iron Man 3,
Eternals.
Eternals was just
Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World,
Iron Man 3, and
Black Widow. If you don't say Black Widow, we can't be friends.
Black Widow was just like, I think the problem with Black Widow is it just wasn't. It was at the wrong time, and it wasn't a fitting send off for her.
Yeah, Roger that. I agree with that.
I don't mind Iron Man. I've said this before, but I don't mind Iron Man 3 as long as you're watching all the movies together.
Yeah, okay. As long as you watch them together, I can see that.
It's not a sequel to Iron Man 2. It's a sequel to The Avengers.
Okay, I got you. One thing I'll say though, since we're talking about these movies and things, the only reason I'm upset that the Batgirl movie got canceled is because they brought back Michael Keaton as Batman. He was her mentor. That's the only thing. I think he's one of my favorite Batman.
I was thinking about this Michael Keaton thing.
Well, see, you see, Incredible Hulk doesn't really count. I don't count that as MCU. I know they do.
It is though. Yeah, they do.
I don't count it, but they do, and especially not Ang Lee. Ang Lee, that is dumpster juice. Like, that movie is horrible. And I was so glad that I saw that on a bootleg that I could fucking discard. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I was thinking about this actually this morning about I remember when Michael Keaton was first announced to play Batman, a lot of people were like, what the fuck? Because at the time, Michael Keaton wasn't like an action star. He was a mostly comedy star. So it would almost be like if they made a new Batman movie, but Bob Odenkirk played him.
Right.
You know?
right.
I might be okay with that.
Yeah. He was what? Nobody? He did Nobody, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you said David, whatever his partner was, David, I might have a problem with that. But Bob Odenkirk, he might surprise you.
I didn't watch Nobody, so
Nobody's pretty good if you hadn't seen it.
I have it on Vudu. You can watch it.
Yeah.
No, I think it's on one of the streaming services. I think.
Yeah, it's called Vudu. You can watch it.
Vudu's the best place to watch HD. So,
but I can't watch it at the same time as anybody else.
But I'm not gonna watch it. You can watch it. I've seen it 1,000,000 times. By 1,000,000, I mean 4.
It's a lot more than me.
I think Michael Keaton is still my Batman because I'm old.
Yeah,
I'm old.
Right.
I'm old. I'm old, and Michael Keaton is my Batman. He's my Batman forever. Like,
you're old, but you're not old enough to be like Adam West is my Batman.
No,
that's Brandon.
I grew up with Adam West as my Batman too, but Michael Keaton is my dude. Like, I think he plays Bruce well.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, Michael Keaton is y'all's Batman. Great. Who's your Joker?
See, I didn't see the Joker movie.
With Joaquin. Oh no, we're not talking about that. We don't talk about that movie. We're not even bringing that into the equation. We're not bringing him in, and we're not bringing in Jared Leto either. We're talking about actual good Jokers.
Oh wow, this was strong words.
I don't know, because it depends. Okay, it depends on what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for just silly over the top, then it's Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
If
silly.
I'm
Jack
looking,
Nicholson had a blast with that role.
if I'm looking for just like
Sinister?
sinister, then I'm going.
Cat from Gotham.
Then I'm going Heath Ledger.
Going
But if
Heath.
I want both, you know where I'm going.
Mark Hamill.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mark Hamill is my Joker. Fuck the rest.
That's
here's
my
my question.
favorite. That's
Yeah,
my
here's-
favorite
here's-
too.
It's valid.
But here's my question: Mark Hamill, yes, I love him, He all time, like, but he wasn't actually. He was just the voice, So does that take away? All he's doing is reading. He's not really acting it. Like for me,
Okay.
personally,
That's a little slight of voice
Heath
acting,
Ledger.
but-
Heath Ledger, I think his was absolutely spectacular.
It's good.
The part where he was like, where he was in the police station, and the dude was like, I watched your friends, in your friends' last moments, you find out who's really strong and who's really weak. Do you want to know which ones of your friends were cowards? That sort of stuff.
I feel bad really rooting for Heath Ledger's Joker though, because I know that's
It
what
cost
destroyed
his
him.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like that's like rooting for, before Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. and his cocaine. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like just rooting
yeah.
for the cocaine. Like, do I really want to do that?
But I mean, it would be a disservice to me, in my opinion. It would be a disservice for me to know that this was his magnum opus, and I can't recognize it as such because it cost him his life.
His magnum opus is the Joker? Are you fucking kidding me? Have you ever seen A Knight's Tale?
Yes, I have. I have it on
Magnum
Voodoo.
fucking opus right there. That's a magnum opus if I've ever seen one. God damn it! Like we are not on the same page here.
No, we're not.
So
Tell everybody
Fantastic.
you haven't
That
seen
movie
10
had
things
Jarvis
I hate
in
about
that
you
shit.
without saying you have seen.
That movie had Jarvis / Vision in that bitch.
Look, so what I don't need you to do is run through everybody who was in the movie. What I'm simply saying is that if I were to walk down the street right now and interview 7 people and ask those 7 people, name one Heath Ledger movie, I have a feeling that it's either going to be the Dark Knight, the Joker, or it's going to be 10 Things I Hate About You.
But a fucking Knight's Tale though.
And I feel like there's no in between on that. So since 10 Things I Hate About You, I love that movie, but okay, so even with Jack Nicholson playing the Joker, my eyes were still on Michael Keaton as Batman.
yeah.
But when Heath Ledger played the Joker, I did not want to see Batman. I wanted to see the Agent of Chaos. Because he made him so different. Shut up, Scott.
I know, right? I'm like, I've never seen that movie. I've never seen it.
I watched some of it and I was like, no, thank you, sir.
It's a good love story, basically. It is. But if I go out there and ask people, they're not going to mention that movie.
Right.
He said Brokeback Mountain for the listeners out there. There's that movie as well as The Crying Game were 2 movies that were literally ahead of their time as far as LGBTQIA circumstances, situations. So I would urge you to go see it. Now that you are, as we often say, more refined and mature than you used to be, you might actually find that you like the movie. But Heath Ledger, his Joker, from end to end, Mark Hamill, video game wise, I love seeing him in Arkham Asylum and all that. The cartoons, he's great, but
Well, that's the thing is, I've always been a person that can distinguish between what I think is someone's best and what is my favorite. My favorite is Mark Hamill, and I do believe that Heath Ledger was the best. And I think that when people say Jack Nicholson's everything, I think they're looking through nostalgia mostly.
Yes.
For one, I really hate the fact in that movie, and which is pretty a big sin for comic books, is that they gave Joker an actual background story, and like how ballsy.
And a real background story, like not a joke.
And that he's the one that killed Batman's parents and all this shit. Like, what the fuck? That's like some. If that movie came out today, people would have hated it. But they love it because it's what they had when they were kids.
Would they? Because I think the reason why we like the ambiguity in his backstory is because of Heath Ledger.
But there was no ambiguity in his backstory for that show, for that movie.
Right, but what I'm saying is, if he didn't tell all of those different stories to kind of muddy the waters a little bit, what if he would have told a similar story about how he got the scars to the way that the Joker that Jack Nicholson got his, then we wouldn't think anything else about it.
But
I don't know. Ambiguity has always been ambiguous.
Yes, ambiguous.
Unless you read the Killing Joke.
Yeah, I read The Killing Joke. It's one of my favorite comics of all time, and
he got the hardest line ever. When he shoots Barb, he shoots her. He walks in the door. He shoots her once and says she'll never walk again, and keeps it fucking moving.
Yeah, and I saw that. But like that's what I'm with Chase, man. Like in those comics, he was always, his past was always mysterious because Batman, being the world's greatest detective, always had something that he couldn't solve. He couldn't solve his parents' murder, and he couldn't figure out who the hell the Joker was.
And didn't he, when he became God, that was when he found out who killed his parents?
Man, I don't even know which
it actually became something where he got like the God Stone or something like that. I wish Brandon was here right now.
I've heard of something like that, and then also there was a time where he became one of the lanterns.
Mm-hmm. And so he used that power to find out who killed his parents. And in the comic, he falls out. He's like, "No, God, no!" Like, yeah, I'm gonna look it up now.
Okay, yeah, that'd have been an arc I didn't read. But yeah, man. So
Scott said in the comics now there are 3 Jokers.
3? I mean, you can only contain so much insanity.
Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill. Those are 3.
Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill.
That's your 3.
I mean, but
what you calling didn't do a bad Joker in that one animated movie. The dude who voices Marcus Phoenix. He did the voice for a Joker in one of those.
Joe DiMaggio?
Yeah, he did the voice of one of the Jokers in hold on.
We kicked it with him at PAX East.
No, that wasn't him.
Oh, here's a little generational thing.
We did the one who played Dom. We
did Dom. I thought we did. We did Dom and Cliffy B.
If she likes the Joker with the dreads, then she's too young for you, bro.
If she likes the Joker with the silver teeth, just break up with her.
Man. But yeah, man. No, it's crazy. I mean,
I feel like there's an identity that people attach to the Joker, and that's why young incel white men like the Joker that has nothing to do with the Joker, the one that came out.
We had this conversation on the show a while ago,
which is funny because I dug that movie for a movie, but that movie, it's funny that like the incel culture kind of went for it when its point is kind of the opposite of that. It's actually like anti like Wall Street and shit. And it's like they kind of glossed over. And
it's also the movie infuriated me because it had an opportunity to speak to mental health.
Yeah.
But instead, it gave him a magical Negro in Zazie Beetz, who took on all of his pain, who took on all of his suffering, and was there to support him no matter what he did, no matter what he went through, no matter how bad he was. And there was no real resolution for her that I found satisfying. So that movie irritated me on multiple levels, but that was probably the biggest one. Plus, the part where the little person was in his apartment and he didn't kill him. The Joker that I know would have lawn darted that motherfucker through the door like Rey Mysterio and Kevin Nash.
Well,
so
the fucking with him about the lock that was too high was kind of jokerish.
it was, but then the Joker would have followed up by lifting him up and pinning his hand to the fucking doorknob and say, "Now you can reach it and giggle his head off."
Bogus. I had him stand on his head to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So
he was the Joker in Under the Red Hood. The animated.
Oh, was it Under the Red Hood? Under the Red Hood was a good one, which is basically Arkham Knight.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think Knox finally understood why I said that game was poorly written, because I was mad at the time. He was like, "Man, this game is great." I'm like, "No, it's not. No, it's not. No, don't fool yourself. It is not great." But
I didn't mind the game, but I definitely see the criticisms. I mean, I've actually thought about kind of been in the mood to replay Arkham City because it's been so long since I played it. I almost don't remember it.
Can't do it.
I can. I loved Arkham City. It was so great.
I was gonna say Arkham City was a bop.
Yeah, Arkham City was greatness because you could play as Catwoman some parts in the story too. Oh, yeah, that was great.
Remember that one part where Scar, you played it, right? I don't want to spoil anything.
You can spoil the games because I'm not gonna play it. I don't play games where I got to sneak.
Yeah, he don't do it. That's right. He don't. He's not.
I'm like I own Arkham Asylum, and I'm just like I can't do it. Like once they started putting bombs on the gargoyles and shit like that, it was just kind of like, yo, fuck this shit.
You just stay away
from
the ones with the bombs.
The only bad part of Arkham City, to me, or whichever one had the Catwoman in it, where you could actually play as a Catwoman. The only thing that takes away from me is that I can never get back the surprise that I felt when I controlled her and made the decision to walk out the door and leave that nigga to die.
Oh.
That was such a just what the hell did I just do moment. I sat there and agonized over making that decision for quite a long time.
But you know, she ain't putting herself out for nobody.
Nope. And she walked out the door and he died, and then it rewound back to where you actually were. But when that happened, that took my breath away. That was just great writing to me. I was so happy.
Yeah, no, that game was great, man. That game really made me like. I liked Asylum, but that game made me love the series. That game made me love the series, and then man, even though Origins launched all buggy on PC, when that thing was fixed, it's a great game. It's a great game.
Yeah, I never played that one, and I've heard the people kind of like
gotta play that.
You know, people will shit on things just because it's not the right developer or whatever. But,
yeah.
That it's actually pretty good, and actually I've heard that it's a good game to play around Christmas time.
It is. It's fantastic for Christmas time because it's fantastic.
Speaking of PC games, you're about to be on some PC games soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
I was just playing some Left 4 Dead, and I was like, man, we've been playing Aliens. It'd be kind of cool to go through some Left 4 Dead and maybe get Blue in there because
that's something my computer can actually run.
And it's got controller support. So and Blue because
I know it got controller support. That's the fucking reason. Okay,
yeah,
I did some herb shit a few years ago, so I'm not even gonna recount my herb shit.
Yeah, we don't have enough time.
Yeah, go ahead, Chase. I got a story.
I was just saying that I like to recount on. I see Blue as mostly a pretty reasonable guy.
Mm-hmm.
Blaming Left 4 Dead on your system breaking down.
Well, it did.
It is like some Black Cat shit. You know what I mean?
It did. That's what happened. That's the game that was in the drive when it broke down. What you want me to do, man?
Don't
You-
let
what
that
you want me to
shit.
say?
Don't let that shit crash his PC.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Don't let that shit
It
crash.
better not.
Your
Look,
360 was a rinky-dink thing if Left 4 Dead crashed your fucking thing.
man, you know how many hours I had put into that thing before I touched Left 4 Dead with Mass Effect? Dog, it's ridiculous. Man, the first night I played Mass Effect, I played that thing for 10 hours straight. So, like, come on, son. Like,
Okay,
I know
so the Hulk,
No.
the Hulk went over the
Hold on,
rinky-dink bridge.
No, you got to correct yourself.
And then when the Flash went over it, and then he fell through because the Hulk done and weakened it. That's what happened.
No, let me tell you what had happened. Mass Effect 1 was fucking unplayable until a couple months later when you can install games to the hard drive. It was absolutely fucking unplayable just straight up off the disc. Absolutely fucking unplayable. I ran into that shit playing Mass Effect the first time.
You started on the PS3 though, didn't you? Or did you start on the 360? Oh, okay.
No. I played them all on Xbox, and remember, I started playing 2 on PS3, and that shit was garbage.
That's what it was.
That shit was garbage. Like, the texture pop in and all of that kind of stuff was the worst. I got texture pop in every time I zoomed into a scope. Like, if I zoomed into a scope, it took a second for the textures to pop in once I zoomed into a scope. Every fucking time, bro. The game crashed on me. The game kept crashing on me. Like, I had a horrible PlayStation experience with the
dude. The Legendary Edition like gives you the option to be like, do you want to listen to these conversations in this elevator because we done loaded.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I got this story to tell y'all, man. I've been waiting to tell somebody. So
and then we got to wrap this up soon.
Right. So it'll be a short story. It'll be about 2 minutes. So on my son's first day of school, you know, he has food allergies and stuff. So we take his stuff to the nurse. So you have to take his EpiPen, you know, his Benadryl. He also has asthma, so we got to take back up everything, right?
Are EpiPens still like super fucking expensive?
No.
At one point that was a thing, right?
Yeah, it was. Rashani over there got the eyes closed. But
Rashani know about the EpiPens.
Yeah.
Yes,
I know
I
you
do.
do. Yeah, I know Kid Awesome has a similar allergy. I think we had that conversation before.
Yeah.
But we were in there talking to the nurse, and because it's school, you know, they still kind of have us wear mask. The nurse was wearing the mask, so I put on my mask. So if I see other people wearing a mask, I'll throw on a mask, right? Mm-hmm. So we were in there talking, and I was saying, hey, we brought, you know, we said, hey, we brought the medicine for our son Elijah, and we put a little picture on there with his face and everything. And she was like, okay. And she was like, does he know what to do if he ever has a reaction? I was like, yeah. And I said, like, yeah, he knows to stick an EpiPen and stuff. And then she said, okay. And then what she do after that? And she was looking at me, and I'm like, well, I mean, we take him to the hospital. You know, we got to give him his Benadryl. We got to take him to the hospital because, you know, it could flare back up on him. They need to, you know, he need to make sure that they keep the reaction down. And she was like, yeah, you gonna come tell me?
Did you ask the question like, nigga, ain't you the nurse?
No, so she was looking at me, and she kind of had like a lazy eye, so she was kind of looking at me, and I was like, okay. She's like, come tell me, and then she was like, then she said, does he have a form? Yeah, and then she. And then she said, does he have a form? And she turned and looked at me. You know, because you got to have a form to carry your own medicine, because, you know, he carries his own medicine on him too. We just give her the backups. And she was looking at me, and I was like, I know what it is. She thinks I'm him. She thought this whole time, even though I kept saying my son, yes, he, answering in the third person, she thought I was him.
I don't call people stupid too often, but she's stupid.
Man, I was like, man. So, and I said,
is this like the Knifefish people thinking you were a 12-year-old?
Yeah, exactly. And I was looking around, and I couldn't understand because, you know, I had a mask on, right?
She must have been a Nightwish fan.
Clearly, she must have been a night. But it was hilarious because I said yes. Our son knows how to da da da. She was like, oh, okay. And then when we left, my wife was like, Did she? I'm like, yes, baby. She thought I was Eli. I'm like, even though we gave her paperwork with his picture on it.
She had on a mask though.
Right,
like,
I had on a mask.
Yeah, on a mask though.
It's so funny, man. I'm like, man, really? Like, he is much lighter than me. Like, he has full head of hair, just like keep it braided up and everything. And I'm just like, come on, son. Like, we don't all look alike. Come on now. Like, not everybody look alike. So I was like, man, so sometimes you have to be extra clear with people. Even if you're speaking in third person, they still think you're talking about yourself. So, Blue don't like to do that. Blue don't like to talk in third person. So
nah, Hov did that. So hopefully you don't have to go through that.
Right, just true that. But no, man, that was my story, man.
Your camera floating, huh?
Huh?
Your camera floating.
Oh yeah, my camera's floating, man. So I'm using the NVIDIA broadcast for the first time. So it's following me, I guess. So, but yeah, man, it was hilarious. But yeah, I wanted to share that with somebody because I'm like, wow, this was crazy.
She turned up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's it, man.
Well, I mean, we started talking about everything except for what we've been playing and what we've been watching. So I think we
started off with talking about what we were playing, and then it deviated into this. You're welcome.
Well, I mean, I know recording shows with you, like, you know what I mean.
So you know what? Honestly, when it's my show, it don't run like this. But when it's your show, you let me do shit like this. So it's your fault.
Wait. When I'm on your show, it definitely goes like this.
Not with me. I'm sitting there waiting for y'all to shut the fuck up.
No, I'm talking about when I'm on single simulcast.
Oh yeah, that's different. That's pop culture.
So, I think we did it. I think we did the thing.
Yeah.
Rashani, tell the people where they can find you.
I'm everywhere. Literally.
I'm everywhere.
Y'all get bored, just go ahead. You get bored, just go ahead and type Rashani into Google. I'm the first 9 things that pop up. I'm actually the first page. The entire first page of Google. How many people can say that? Like, you want to find my shows, just type Rashani into Google. Like, that's literally one of the dopest fucking things that I've ever experienced in my entire life. Yo, Google me, motherfucker, and I'm actually on Google. Like, yo, that's what happens when you start before SEO gets started. So, if you want to find me, Google me. If you want to find me on Twitter, Google me. If you want to find me on Facebook, Google me. Because all of them, the Instagram is on Google, like that first page. But if you want to hear the podcast, I got 9 of them motherfuckers. And so what you're going to want to do is go to Linktree/SScast. And on there, I have links to all of my shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna put your link tree in the episode description.
He got 9 of them. I ain't been on one of them. But that's okay.
Well, that's because you haven't been on Hindsight yet, but that's gonna change.
I mean, just saying, man.
Because we have a list of movies. Scar's coming up soon.
No, the fuck I'm not.
Scar's coming up soon. Scar, I'm sorry to tell you, good sir, but you actually did volunteer to be on Drumline.
Well, before you go, I wanna show you something after the podcast.
I can do Drumline.
So
okay,
I can do Drumline. I definitely can do Drumline because then all I'm going to do is just compare that to the first Thor movie over and over again, and that's going to be fucking hilarious. They're the same movie.
Yeah.
They're the same movie.
By the way, next week we're gonna have to talk about. I watched the first She-Hulk episode.
Yes.
At some point we'll have to talk about that.
Yes.
I don't understand people's hate on it. Like
I like it. I enjoyed
Who the hell hates it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Tatiana Maslany, let's go. That's all I need.
We just concluded Orphan Black on ROL.
Yeah.
I mean RTO. Why am I just keep saying ROL? I have no idea. RTO. But yeah, we just finished Orphan Black, so we know everything that she's capable of, and she's ridiculous. She was killing that shit.
She was ridiculous. How you play that many characters, man?
Even with the average CG,
right?
I can still look past that.
That's what I'm saying. That a lot. Only thing I heard is that a lot of people said the CG isn't great, but they still enjoyed the show.
But I will say this: it's better on the show than the previews. The previews
look bad. Yeah,
the previews look like animatics. Like they did not look like fully rendered. You know what I mean? Like they did not look fully rendered on the previews for the show, but on the actual show, her character model looks a lot better.
I think it helps because her face looks real. Looks like they did. They recorded like legit real facial movements and stuff like that. That stuff wasn't computer generated. I think that's the thing that makes the difference with the Bruce Banner Hulk versus her She-Hulk. Is that the She-Hulk, I think actually they record her legit face, whereas the Bruce Banner Hulk is CG'd. And I think
they do the thing with the dots on the face.
Yeah, but
and you know the camera and the dots on the face. So they get their facial features that way. But I didn't know she has like a stunt double, someone who's actually they have a woman that's actually nearly the height that she would be.
Oh, really?
So like it's not like what they did with Thanos, because like with Thanos, like he was wearing like a hat or something like that with like a printout of Thanos's head, so they knew where to look when they were talking to Thanos. So like that was different. And so that was different. But like they actually had someone that's approximately the same size as She-Hulk as like a stand-in, so they knew what to do. So that was cool. But man, Rashani, of course, my internet bestie. I love you, nigga.
I'm not just his internet bestie, y'all. You got to know, I'm his best friend.
Right, just in general.
I know where all the bodies are buried.
I think so. I think Blue is one of them people too. I'm not.
Even though I've never been on one of his shows, I was supposed to prove your point.
You have been on one of my shows. You have.
What show was I on?
You were on one of my shows.
What show?
You were on a Prove Your Point. You were on a Prove Your Point. Yes.
Oh yeah, I did prove
yeah, you did approve your point. See,
I won.
Got it, coach.
I won.
I know, Scar judged. So yeah, you won.
Yeah.
And I'm always going to be anti Blue on the if I'm judging.
Right, always. It's just how it is. On GP.
Yeah, but very much so. But anyway, thank y'all for listening. Do the things like, share, subscribe, tell your mama, don't tell your cousin them.
Right.
We still going with August. We think we got one more. Is it one more or two more?
One more
with August.
One more time.
One more time. You got to do the one from Daft Punk, man. That's a good one more time.
I think that's what he was going for. He didn't get as the musician, he didn't get the notes though. Like
he came out country. He came out country. It's okay. It's all right.
I ain't no singer.
he's from North Carolina. It's okay.
Nurse. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take time out to give shouts out to my beloved wife Nisha. Today was her first day getting paid as a registered nurse.
Nice. Congratulations.
Black women are magic.
Yours
awesome. Congrats.
More magic.
My oldest son is going to be in, so he'll be a nurse eventually. But
that's dope.
Congratulations.
His eldest is going to be a nurse eventually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it.
It's a fantastic field. Absolutely.
Yes, that's exciting.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Queen. You know what it is. But
right.
You know what it is with us. You know what it is.
Man, don't I know it?
Listen.
I was literally out of 80 people, I was the only one of us.
Wow.
The only one of us.
Well, congrats on that.
In my whole cohort, that was just, it was really shocking. And my professors, like, I had 2 out of all the professors on the campus in the program. There were 2 that were Black professors, and they were like, yeah, get used to it. And they were like, and especially you want to go into critical care, it's even less. So.
And Rashani's already told us numerous times about your budding sugar mama status.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what RN does, man.
I got him and Devin over here just calculating the funds. He was like,
carry the one.
So like, how many paychecks until this PS5 come through?
Right, exactly.
We gotta knock the Medicaid out first. So it's like a hierarchy of check. I was like, okay, I gotta pay for my tuition for my BSN program. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's the first check. And I was like, and then after that, I was like, we can kind of, break it down. I was like, we can just, maybe plug in a couple grand towards it, each month. And
there you go. There you go.
yeah, like, it'll be done. But what really had me was, like I said, Kid Awesome was saying, Mom, so you guys get paid like time and a half and then double time on other holidays. And I was like, yeah. He was like, so time and a half. He was like, well, that's still over $100 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, and you work like 12-hour shifts. You get off at 7:30. He's like, I'll see you at 8:30 on every holiday.
He read the numbers already.
He already plotted the holidays for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't even get to choose your own holidays.
He like, look, just put my plate in the oven. Just you can, we'll be good. We'll be good. Don't even worry about it.
He really. Yes, I was like, oh my God. He was like, Mom, no, I'm just saying. He was like, you making over $1,000 in one day. He was like, man, that's some people like 2 weeks they go to work. He was like, you just one shift and you knocking out. I was like, okay, kid.
We're doing a little bit too much math over there.
Right. I'm like, how you just calculate? Right. And I said, okay, so what's going to be the request coming off of that?
Right. Exactly.
He getting closer to that part where he's going to start looking for a car.
Oh man! Well, the goal is he's gonna get the hand-me-down.
Yep,
and
that's
then
how you do it.
And then Derek's gonna get another car because he wants to really get in a hybrid. Like after the gas prices went to like $6 something, he was like, "Oh no, I'm done."
I forget y'all in California. That's killer.
Wow. We never get up to $6. We got we got up over $5 at one point. Now we back to like $350, $360 right now.
Yeah, we're lower than that. I mean, I think down here we're like $330 now, $328 in Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma. Yeah.
So and that's Sam's, which is like a Costco. That's usually where I'll go to get gas. It's like $4.65, so that means at a regular gas station, and this is just for the regular gas. So at a regular station, it's probably gonna be like $4.75. But the highest it got out here was like $6.89.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's crazy. And I was just like, man, people are going to work and literally your check is going into your gas tank with those kind of prices because you're not getting a pay adjustment just because the gas is changing.
Right.
So, you go from gas being $3 something to it just keeps incrementally going up to almost $7. Yeah, that was crazy. So I mean, I'm glad it's going down, but I'm like, you guys still need to bring it down some more.
So do you so my son he works as an LPN and he does 3 days a week. He does 3 12-hour shifts. Is that what you do? Do you have a 312 or do you do 5 8s?
No, I do 3 12s.
Okay.
So the facility that I'm at, I do 3 12s. They grandfathered in some people who want the 5 8s, but I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily want the 5 8s. I actually like working the 3 12s.
He loves it. He will never ever go back because how can you say no to 4 days off a week? How can you say no to 4 days off a week, man? So
absolutely, absolutely. And then I am in like the orienting period, so I'm working with my preceptor. So unfortunately, for the next like 10 to 12 weeks, exactly.
Yeah, he has the same thing.
Gosh,
and he hated it.
Yes. I met with my manager today, and she was like, "Okay, this is the floor you're going to be on, and this is your preceptor." And I'm like, "Okay. Well, did you get my message last week when I was like, here's my school schedule and I'm not available on these dates?" Oh, yeah, okay.
Glad you let us know for the second time. Yeah.
And she's like, okay, well, can you work this weekend? And I was like, well, no, because that's my birthday.
Right.
And she was like, oh, yeah, no. She was like, let me tell you if you didn't know. She said, but it sounds like you do. You never, ever, ever work on your birthday. She said, your birthday is your own personal holiday. Don't let anybody try to take it.
Absolutely.
My birthday's on a Sunday this year, so
Oh
That
my
man,
gosh.
I ain't even got to worry about taking it off. I might take the next day off just because.
Just because, right? Just because you can, right? So yeah.
See, yes,
listen,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
congratulations. That is something to be proud of. I grew up with my grandmother, and my grandparents. My grandmother, she was a nurse at two hospitals concurrently. She was actually in the room and delivered me when I was born. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I'm telling you, it's awesome. It's a great profession, and you'll always be in demand. So yeah, don't settle for anything.
Oh yeah, no. The goal is to get training, get into ICU, do that for a couple of years, and see where Devin ends up at school. I'll
Mm-hmm.
either maybe transition to being a traveling nurse
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
or going per diem. And I'm like, man,
Mhm.
if I had known before I took this position, I would have just started out per diem because
yeah.
I don't need the benefits. Derek has benefits, so
Oh
I
wow.
don't need them. Like, man, give me that 20% pay bump.
Yeah, that's significant.
in lieu of the benefits. So,
Absolutely.
but I mean, a lot of nurses do both. They have their full-time job and then they work per diem because as a per diem nurse, you only have to work 1 day a week at whatever hospital, and so you figure, depending on where it is, like I'm working out of Stockton, which is about an hour away from where we are. But I'm like, if I can find something locally, they pay more locally, but they don't want to hire new grad nurses. So that's where how that ends up working out. It's like the further out you go, they will hire new grad nurses,
Right.
and they pay fairly comparably. But I'm like, yes, let me get into one of these facilities out here. Man, and I'm telling you, you ain't gonna be able to tell me.
Right.
I
mad.
for real.
Man, yeah, that's good money though.
Y'all wouldn't be able to tell me nothing. I'll tell everybody else around the house, y'all need to put y'all shit on the hold because I'm getting my ass a pinky ring.
just the whole time, just walking around like, like, so who gonna take out the trash? Who's gonna take out the trash today?
Fuck that PS5 dog.
Yes. Man, yes. No, that would be that would definitely be something that's up. But it's like I laid out the financial goal, because I mean, even before I got this job or even decided to go into nursing school, just looking at the kids and all of that. Some of them decided to stay locally and go to school. Some of them was like, it's not for me, but I know that's what Devin wants to do. And I'm like, yeah, we gonna be paying.
Yeah.
No matter which. I mean, of course we'll look at the scholarships, but I told Derek, I was like, okay, the goal, yes, by the time he graduates, to at least have try to get at least a year and or 2 years worth of money saved up for him.
Yeah.
So he can do.
My ex-wife works at Johns Hopkins University, so I ain't got to worry about school.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
My ex-wife is the administrator at Johns Hopkins, so I ain't got to worry about nothing when it comes to school.
Hey, that's why I love it.
She didn't put her little time in, and she ain't got to worry about nothing. Yeah, she good. So wherever she decided to go. I mean, will she ever figure out what she wants to do? But that's a completely different conversation for a different day.
Right.
Yes, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll let Rashani come back.
Oh, word. We're done. All right, y'all.
The show was on its way out, but we started talking to you. But it's always a fabulous time talking to you.
Absolutely, my Virgo brother, and I know you helped to keep this one there. Yes,
we up. It's our time. We up right now.
Yes, we up. Like Cardi said, we up and we stuck. We gonna be stuck in that position. Everything is just on the rise.
I'm glad they got these stinking ass lions out of here.
Bogus. Man, that ain't me. So I'm good.
All right, but I'm not. I'm not gonna talk astrology, but we all know about them stinking ass lines.
Bogus. Yeah, we do.
Mangy ass.
Man, tell the people good night, man.
All right, so that's the show. We had an impromptu session, but you know what? It's all good. This is what we do. All guests, and we take on all guests, including family. That's what Rashadi and Nisha are to me. They are family. They're not just guests. They are family. And I'm glad. I'm happy for your success.
Yeah.
I am going to be more happy when you get your pinky ring. Oh, you know what? A 4-finger Nisha ring.
Oh, yes.
Know me? Know me?
Yes. Well, look, I will take a picture and send it to you.
That's one of the ones you gonna have enough money to go to the jeweler and get that made. Like, no, this is what I want. This is what I want.
Yes.
And I want it in cursive so the kids can't read it. I have that conversation with my daughter all the time, and she cannot read cursive at all. Like, you write something in cursive is a wrap. She doesn't know how to read cursive. It's bad.
Oh.
Because they stopped teaching it in school.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, but yeah, with that group, they really didn't focus on the cursive writing or any of that. It's crazy that they took that out of the curriculum, but I mean, hey, they use the computers and they typing up everything, so why do they need?
Yeah, I told Poopy to just work on your signature. That's all.
Yep.
Just work on your signature, you'll be all right. I'll show you how to write that in cursive at least. And you ain't got to worry about nothing else, just your signature.
Yeah, work on her signature and yours.
No. Her mama's signature. You can work on your mama's signature.
Yeah, you ain't signing me. You ain't signing
but
me.
Her mama got weird writing. It's neat, but it's weird. It's odd. Like when she used to write me notes all the time when we were younger, like just trying to read it, it was just kind of like her writing was just kind of odd to me. So maybe it's odd to her too. So like maybe you might not want to go there. Because if it ain't gonna look like that, then maybe you might got to put some practice in. But you can't get no practice in. You can't put no practice in on a computer. You got to.
Right.
Yeah, but hey, she could put a couple of lines and
right. That'll be it.
All right. Some squiggly lines.
Oh, you're gonna be around some doctors too. You're gonna see the worst in the world, dude. That's gonna be hilarious.
Oh my gosh!
No, she ain't never seen my handwriting. That is my coworkers tell me all the time. It's like, what does this say? Like that's the normal thing that I get from my coworkers. What does this say? If I have write down something for them, if I do a quote or something like that, and I got to give it to them, especially the one that does the interstate quotes. If I write down a quote, she's just like, "What the hell is this?"
The numbers too, though.
No, it like my handwriting is terrible.
Arabic?
My handwriting has always been terrible. I can't front. My handwriting has always been horrible.
Mine too, though.
I'm a lefty, so that means I'm an enemy of gel pens. Like, I got a lot of stuff going on with me.
Yeah, listen. But I have been typing since sixth grade because I recognized at an early age that this handwriting was not going to be my jam. So I've been taking typing classes since sixth grade. Man, no lie.
You're like
man.
Until I had this job, I had never in my life ran all the way through a pen. Like never ran all the way through a pen, like where the ink was just gone. Like, you know what I mean? That had never happened to me before. Like usually like I have a pen, it's in my pocket, and shit get washed. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. But no, until I had this job where I had to write down all of my quotes and stuff like that, I had never ran through a pen. And like something I noticed by using these a lot, there is nothing better than using a new highlighter. Oh my God. Like when you work in an office job, like there's some things that you just kind of like, the stapler that actually works. Like there's some things like that you that you have, and there's those things that you do with an office job that
Do you
that
staple
most
in?
people
Do you
don't
staple
understand.
out?
Most people don't really understand, and like the stapler, the one touch, the one finger staplers
That's
are
what I
like
got at my desk.
are the most awesome thing ever. You just like, ew, but then they go pow, and you're like, yeah, I did that shit. All right. I'm wrapping up the show for real. Thank y'all.
10 minutes
Thank
ago.
y'all. We'll be back next week from August. Thank you to Rashani, who's gone already. Thank you again, Nisha. We love you. Congratulations again on your success. And I think we're out of here. Peace out to the Warriors, yo.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Well, Rashani does need to come back because I was going to show him something.
Yeah.
Derek.